Hi, I'm Jessica Stutzman from Mill Creek Township. Today, I'm excited to welcome guests from the Pennsylvania Special Olympics, an organization dedicated to empowering individuals with intellectual disabilities through sports and community engagement. Joining me are Executive Director Katherine Riem and Development Director Diane Sickles. Thank you both so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about how long the Special Olympics has been an organization.
In the early 60s, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, the Kennedy family, she had a sister with intellectual disability, and she thought they were very sports and competitive family, as we all know. And she wanted something for her sister to participate in. So in her very backyard, she had a first event, and then today, fast forward into 2024, we're international organization.
And still going strong. So when did it come to Erie, Pennsylvania?
Special Olympics, we regionalized. So before, in Erie, it has been probably close to 40 years. We talked to some volunteers. We just had a conversation yesterday with a coach who has been coaching 37 years. And some of our athletes have been participating that long. And it was a volunteer organization, and it still is. We still definitely need volunteers, and that's our bread and butter, our volunteers. But we regionalized, and we came and formed an office, and actually throughout the whole state, 9 offices, where we need to get the boots on the ground, and we want to double, and we'll talk about that a little later, how many participate, but our goal by 2030 is to double our athletes. And to do that, our volunteers, we can't, they don't have one extra minute to do that because they're coaching, and so we opened our office here in 2021.
Mm-hmm. And do any of your athletes, if we've been around for that long, do they ever graduate from the program and then come back and volunteer their time?
So athletes can participate with us for as long as they want to, so they can start out at age 8 and either work with our UniFi Champion School program or with one of our community sports programs, and they can as long as they want to do it. And if they want to come back and help coach, that's absolutely something that we would love.
Wonderful, I love that. So how many counties do you cover?
We cover 7 counties: Erie, Crawford, Warren, Forest, Mercer, Venango, and Clarion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have a pretty big area, and all of those counties are encompassed in Region 1, which is the area that Diane and I work for, Region 1.
And where are you guys headquartered out of?
So our main office is in Norristown, Pennsylvania, and then we have 9 regional offices across the state.
Okay.
And our local office here in Erie is just up Peach Street at Erie Sports Park.
Wonderful.
Used to be Family First, most people know it as.
Oh, that's wonderful. And how many athletes do you have right now?
In our region, we have a little over 500, and we keep growing and growing. COVID really did have a negative impact on Special Olympics locally, throughout the state, throughout the country. So it's a rebuild, and that's our initiative. But we have a little over 500 now. In the state, we have 15,000. And our goal by 2030 is to have statewide 30,000 athletes, and so double ours to 1,000.
And of course, you're here doing the Mill Creek Government Channel interview. Are there other ways that you're reaching out to families or athletes or parents to get them involved?
We are always out in the community talking with parents and athletes, and our UniFi Champion School program is a big way that students with disabilities and their parents learn about us. So yeah, we are all over the place. Anybody who wants to talk to us about Special Olympics, we could do it all day long.
And the Unified, I want to piggyback on that. Unified Champion Schools is a program that we have, and Pennsylvania is leading the way. I think we're number 3, but when we compete against Texas and that. But this year we have 150 new schools throughout the state coming on. And what the program is designed, it is inclusion and it is involvement. So how it works, we have a bocce program and we have track and field, and McDowell actually is a very strong school. And we're proud to say that in Erie County, we have most of the schools participating, and we're really reaching out to our other communities as well. And the program is designed where you have a student with an intellectual disability and a student in the school. They pair up, and we're one team. And so we play sports together. It's PIAA recognized, and they go to sectionals, they go to regions, and they actually go down and compete at state.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about, I mean, I think we all know the benefits of sports, but being able to offer this program, for inclusion, let's just talk about the benefits for a minute.
Well, the benefits are unending. So when you see a student with a disability, an intellectual disability, competing against their non-disabled peer or with their non-disabled peer as a team, people are looking at that going, wow, look at those two folks working together. And it really just opens up the world for the student with the intellectual disability. It is imperative that we continue to make sure that people with disabilities are at the table with the rest of us. And being able to be part of a UniFi Champion School program or in one of our community sports program is just a beautiful way for that to happen naturally.
And we constantly hear the joy that it brings and the difference that the impact that Special Olympics has had on their lives. We talk to the one individual I think of, he was sharing how he was bullied in high school. And that was very sad. And his mom said he'd come home from school, go to his room, she'd bring him dinner into his room. Then when he participated in Special Olympics and he's winning gold medals and he's competing, the friendship is, and the encouragement and the joy and the laughter being part of the family is just phenomenal.
And when you see parents at events seeing their son or daughter who may not otherwise be participating in sports, participating and getting gold medals, that is just life-changing.
Yeah. We're building confidence. We're
building skills.
It's decreasing bullying in schools. It's fostering friendship. And so again, I'm seeing a lot of individual benefits, but then community benefits as well.
Oh, absolutely. We want the community to see our athletes just like they see everyone else. And again, that goes back to our UniFi Champion School program. It really shows the student body that people with disabilities are just like everybody else. They just happen to have a disability. They can still be friends, they can still participate in a sport, they can still do everything that you're doing. We just have to make sure that we're approaching this in an accepting manner.
And we talked, before the show started, we talked about diversifying our children in sports, and you're trying to find out, which sport your child likes best, and maybe not pigeonholing them. What sports do you offer? Because it sounds like a lot.
We do. So we start out with our Young Athlete program, and our Young Athlete program is for kids 2 to 7, and it's for kids with and without disabilities, because between the ages of 2 and 7, you're really just learning how to play together. So we give the team lead or the coach a kit that's got everything in it that you need to be able to get this program up and going. And it's usually about a 9 or 10 week program, and it comes with an instruction booklet and all the equipment that you need. And then hopefully that is going to, open up the doors for that when they get into school, like when they turn 8, then they're going to be in a UniFi Champion School program. And then Diane, I'll let you talk about the other sports that we offer.
So we, in all of our counties, our sports are a little different, but here in Erie, we have in the fall, we have powerlifting, we have bocce, we have soccer, and we have flag football. And then in the winter, we have our winter sports, our bowling. You might need to help me because our sports director hand is
snowshoeing.
Yes.
Alpine skiing.
Yes. And then in the spring, we have swimming. We have also basketball. We have basketball a couple different seasons. We have like a county program and a city program. We have long distance walking and running. We have track and field. And so and we're always adding sports. And so you can
golf.
go on our,
we have golf.
We have golf, and you can go on our website, SpecialOlympics.com, and plug in Northwest PA, and then you can see the list. There's, I believe across the state, we have 23 different sports. And so what happens is you are part of a team and you practice for 10 weeks, and then you qualify for sectionals. And this week we actually have sectionals down at Slippery Rock. We have great partnerships And then from there, they can qualify and go on to Villanova and Villanova University, and that's like our state games. We have summer state games at Penn State main campus, and then we have our winter. We go to Seven Springs for sectionals, and then they go down to York. And so it's a great opportunity. We also have powerlifting. Yeah, so we have a number of sports that are offered.
What a cool experience to be able to, again, do your sport locally and then be able to travel with it and compete at a higher level.
And have the athletes competing against other people across the state. It's really, it just opens up their world, and if you love what you do, it opens up your world too.
Yeah, it does. So, and we kind of talked about this. Tell me again, is there an age limit?
There's not.
No age limit, no. So you can go from our young athletes 2 to 7, and then 8 to 18 is our school-based program. But you can also also do the community program even before you're 18. But you can go all the way up to, we have athletes in their 70s and 80s who are still competing with us. They love it.
Oh my gosh, yes, and I was you guys love it too, and I love the energy that you guys bring to the show today. Before we dive back into the questions, I just want to talk about where your passion comes for this. What made you want to work for this organization, and what inspires you every day?
So I've worked with the disability community, people with disabilities, my entire adult career, and this opportunity came up, and I've always heard the Special Olympics name, but I didn't really know everything that Special Olympics does until I started talking to people, and then this opportunity came up, and I interviewed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to work here. So, what inspires me is our athletes, seeing the work that they put in. I mean, all you have to do is just watch an athlete, and they put everything they've got into whatever their sport is, and it is just beautiful to see. It is so inspiring, and there are lots of days I feel like this isn't really work. It's just, you know, connecting people and making sure they're living a life that has meaning attached to it.
Yeah, they're having fun, you're having fun.
Yes.
Diane, what about, again, what started you into this organization and inspires you?
So I was always part of the nonprofit world, and I think that's part of my DNA, just to raise funds and give back to the community. I actually was in the profit world for a little bit, and I didn't love it, didn't hate it, but when this opportunity came about, I was like, this is where I need to be. And it's exciting because coming in when we're just opening an office, I thought, well, number one, when you see the athletes, that just at the end of the day, it's just like, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing every day. But, if we're going to grow, if we're going to double, we definitely need the volunteers. So we need to be out there getting the volunteers. The programs to our athletes, it costs them nothing. And so obviously we need to be fundraisers. And our goal for our region next year is $512,000. So we need, I came on as a fundraiser, so I just want to put in a plug for folks can always give just to Special Olympics. They can send a donation. It helps with the uniforms, transportation. Our coaches are all volunteers, so no one gets paid there. And so, healthy. We have a program for health and fitness, so we're working on that too. And so we have our plunge coming up November 9th at Presque Isle State Park. We added this year, it's our 10th year of doing the plunge, and so we have a 5K foot race for anyone who does not want to jump in the cold water. So that starts at 10 o'clock, and then the ones who want to be bold and get cold and be freezing for a reason, we plunge into Lake Erie. So it's a fundraising event. It's not too late to get involved. Go to plungepa.org. You can call us at the office, look us up on our website, and get involved that way.
That's wonderful. And again, so for volunteers, Are you looking for coaches, or are you looking for people to help at the fundraising events, in the office? What kind of volunteership?
We're looking for everything you just said.
Okay.
So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. People can come and volunteer for a one-day event like the Polar Plunge or the Frozen Foot Race, or they could volunteer for an entire season if they want to be a coach, or they want to be an assistant coach, or they want to just come and help at whatever event we have going on. There are so many opportunities. And again, as Diane said, our volunteers are our bread and butter. We could not exist without our volunteers. And we have some volunteers who have been volunteers for 35, 37, 38 years. So people who have been involved for many, many years. So we have all kinds of opportunities.
Yeah, so please, if you want to volunteer, it's very rewarding, and you'll make lifelong friends.
Yes.
I want to dive back into some of our questions so we get through all of them before we end our show. And so we were talking about school and community programs. Is there anything else you wanted to add on to your school and community programs that we didn't already mention?
Well, McDowell has a great program. The Mill Creek Township School District is one of our UniFi Champion schools. They do a great job. And it's our UniFi Champion School program is really important for two reasons. It's important to get kids with intellectual disabilities involved, but it's just as important for their non-disabled peers to see them involved and to want to get a connection with them and make a friendship and maybe even be a UniFi partner on a bocce or track and field team.
Yeah. And what is the cost of I think we mentioned this for the player, but what is the cost of participating in the Special Olympics?
Zero.
Yeah, it costs nothing, but as you can imagine, that's why our goal is $512,000. There's a lot of cost. Katherine just paid a bill the other day for us for transportation just to get our athletes from Erie to Villanova. It was over $6,000, and we do that 3 times a year, and then we have 7 counties, and we're very frugal, and we try to cut costs where we can and team up, but the reality is, so we're always looking for sponsors. You can sponsor an athlete, you can sponsor transportation. It's
sponsor an event.
Yes.
But the Special Olympics program costs our athletes nothing. They don't pay for anything. They don't pay for uniforms or sports equipment or food or lodging or they pay for nothing. And that's why fundraising is such an integral part of what we're doing. And so if anybody's interested in sponsoring an event or, like Diane said, a sport or an athlete, please call us. We would love to talk with you.
Oh, that would be wonderful. And again, we mentioned that your office is located on Peach Street, and we've got only just a few minutes here, and we did share what you love most about the Special Olympics. Do you have any particular story that you want to share with our viewers?
So we have the opportunities for our athletes are endless, and we actually had the opportunity for me this summer. This is just one of the highlights. We had one of our athletes went down and was able to participate at the governor's mansion, and we played bocce against his staff. And so there were 2 courts set up, there were 4 teams, and one of our athletes, Tom, he partnered right up with the Department of Human Services, and they saw firsthand the joy that it brought them. So, and seeing the kids come off of the bus for an event and shaking their hands, best day ever. It just melts your heart. And absolutely.
Well, and I got to go to Summer Games right after I started this year. And Summer Games is the state competition where athletes from all over the state are competing against each other. And I was there just to sort of kind of watch and see what was happening. And I was at the gymnastics venue, and over the radio, they needed somebody to come to the swimming venue to hand out medals.
And you got to do that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible to see these athletes coming up onto the podium and getting gold, silver, and bronze medals. It was just, and their parents were so proud.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they were. That would be such a wonderful experience. And I want to thank you both for coming in. Our time is just about done here, so I want to thank you for joining us here today. Your dedication and passion for this is truly moving. And like I said, I really hope our viewers felt this energy, through the screen. And so again, we are really celebrating everybody's spirit, their talent, their individuality, but then also us as a community coming together.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for having us today, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank
really
you so much.
Appreciate it.
Viewers, again, I learned so much today here during our show, and I hope you did too. If you are able, again, to donate or to volunteer or just witness and watch some of these wonderful athletes compete in the PA Special Olympics, that would be fantastic. I want to thank you for tuning into the Mill Creek Government Channel today, and until next time, have a great day.